Friends, I'm Ali Kuşçu. My full name is Alaaddin Ali. I was born in 1369 in Samarkand. I'm a linguist, as well as astronomy and mathematics scholar. My father is Muhammed Bey, who is a falconer. This is where the nickname Kuşçu in my name comes from. My father trained the birds and fed them carefully. He had a different communication with birds of prey, especially the falcon. It was as if he spoke their language, understood them, and conversed with them. The birds would listen to my father, and they would do whatever he wanted. I used to admire to those majestic birds flapping their wings and soaring in the sky. I would always say to myself that if I were a bird and took wings, I would go up to the very top of the sky and look at the stars from there. My curiosity to study the sky and the stars started at that age. I started my education in Samarkand. I took mathematics and astronomy lessons from valuable scholars. I was sent to China by Ulu Bey, the Sultan of our country, to further my knowledge. At that time, China was the most developed country in the world and in the field of science. I learned a lot from them. I benefited from their culture and perspective on science. As soon as I returned to Samarkand, I calculated the surface of the area of the world and the meridians with the knowledge I gained there. I presented my first work, Halluh Ishkali Kamer, which is a treatise on the stages of the moon, to Ulu Bey. Later, I started to work as a manager at the Samarkand Observatory. Meanwhile, with the contributions of Ulu Bey, I focused on my work named Ziji Ulu Bey. This book was a 4-part catalogue containing the positions of 1,018 stars. I worked for 30 years for this work, which brought me to the level of world-renowned scholar. In 1449, when our Sultan Ulu Bey died as a result of assassination, I left there. I went to Tabriz, to the Akkoyunlu ruler Uzun Hasan. During the years I spent there, I wrote my work Risaleti Fili Heye in Persian. This work of mine is one of the most important works written all over the world in the field of astronomy. Uzun Hasan sent me as an ambassador to Mehmed the Conqueror to make peace with the Ottomans. Fatih Sultan Mehmed, who cared about science, intended to gather the important scholars of the period in Istanbul. He asked me to stay in Istanbul and teach in a madrasa. This offer of the Sultan was a great honor for me. But I had a task to complete, and I told the Sultan, I want to go back to Tabriz, if you allow me. The main reason for my existence here is to be the goodwill ambassador of Akkoyunlu, ruler Sultan Hassan. Before accepting your kind invitation, I must go back and inform the person who sent me here, and trust me, and say that I have done my duty well. The Sultan respected my honesty and loyalty to my work and allowed me to return to Tabriz and complete my mission. I returned to Istanbul in 1472 and was appointed as a mudarris at Ayasofya Madrasa. On the way back to Istanbul, I completed my work titled Muhammadiye, in which I examined the positions of the stars. I prepared the programs of Fatih Islamic Social Complex in Istanbul. I taught astronomy and mathematics lessons. I made sundials. Istanbul was a completely different world with its geographical beauty and the importance given to science and thought. In those years, I was taking firm steps towards becoming the center of civilization. Since I presented my book on astronomy to Fatih Sultan Mehmed after Otlukbeli victory, the name of this book was Fethiye. Fethiye consists of 3 parts. In the first part, there was an information about the planets and their movements. In the second part, the shape of the Earth and climates. And in the last part, information about measurements and distances of the planets. In this beautiful city, I had many valuable studies in the name of science. I played an important role in the introduction of mathematics courses in madrasas. The lectures I gave received extraordinary attention and were admired by prominent scientists. I wrote this astronomy book as a small handbook to be taught in madrasas, rather than to present new findings. My contribution to the world of science should be measured not only by the works I wrote, but the scholars I trained. I worked hard until the end of my life for the dissemination of knowledge and the development of science. I transferred all my knowledge to my students. I accepted as a thinker and scientist far beyond my time. No effort is wasted, my friends. Sometimes it takes a long time to reach the goal, but don't let that deter you. If you continue with determination, you will definitely succeed. I completed my most important work after many years of work. Remember, information is valued when it is used. Try to apply what you have learned to your life. Always ask for help when you need it. I wish you all a life full of success.